Scotty, why don't you just bring us in since you sort of started the field for creating these sessions?
Great to be here. Great to see everybody. Glad we can all get together and do this. Guardian Alliance presents Pulse training sessions. How awesome is this? We get to get together and go over course material. So a couple quotes I wanted to pull up from the course that really got me. Here is becoming a warrior means embracing discomfort for something greater. And as a warrior, it means taking full responsibility for your life. These are things that really speak to me. My name is Scott. I've been here at the Guardian Alliance here for a few years now, and it's been definitely benefit to my life. We are here with Adam Apollo, who needs no introduction really. We're all pretty familiar with him and Superliminal Systems, Guardian Alliance. And we are here with the author of the Warrior course, David Beaudry. David is currently doing Noble Movement, which is a very interesting series on YouTube with some Qigong and some exercise stuff. And I'll pass it right over to you, David, if you want to say hi.
What's up, y'all? It's so good to be here in this, pulse session with you all. It's been a while, and my heart's just lighting up to see your faces. And I remember, seeing your comments, and I'm remembering some of the faces. So it's good to make it so much more real. And thank you, Scott, for putting this on. Adam Apollo, I love you. I wish you were still out here in California sometime. I'm like, man, let's hang out.
Yeah, I love you, bro.
Yeah, it's a real honor to be here with y'all, and let's have some fun today.
Thank you so much, David. And it's an honor for me to have you back here. I remember in the year when we were getting things lit up and starting up the Guardian Alliance and busting out the courses, and you're working on the Warrior and the Healer course. We had a lot of fun creating those initial sessions and dropping in together and doing some live trainings alongside, the release of the courses. And now, Guardian Alliance has come through quite a maturation cycle. I mean, we're coming up on the third year that we've had this whole program and system running. And as we come around to 2018, I know so many people really need right now a more clear and coherent way to pulse in, to connect, to drop in, to do the work, and to keep the training going. And, it's great to have the resource of Mastery Ring 1, if you're a member, and be able to get into any of those 6 courses and go into the video trainings and do that on your own at any time. But I find that even for myself, as a habitual creature, like, it helps me if I've got that reminder piece, that way to sync up, that way to link in with people and actually show up together to do the work together. And so that's what this is really about, is kind of reweaving the circle, breathing some new life into our kind of roundtable structure, but in a way that's focused on the actual practices and on the training. So today, David, I really invite you to take the lead in this session, and I'll be here with you and support you. And let's explore, some of the work that we put into the to the Warrior Activator course, and some of the kinds of approaches and practices. So initially, why don't you just, as a review, just like from your perspective and from your source as you release this course, tell us what the course is about, and tell us what it's really designed to do in terms of focalizing an aspect of our beings.
Yeah. So, back when I was diving into this curriculum, I was so thrilled. And there's a couple primary purposes. The first is to look at your principles, to look at how you're living your life and see where you're aligned and where you're not aligned. And like the samurai, just kind of look at it and with a very clear perspective and say, no, this just isn't working for me. This just, I've been doing it, and then it's just not, I'm just going to cut it, with love and grace, of course, right? But it's just like, what's in alignment? If it's not aligned with my soul, I don't need that shit. You know? So that's kind of, one of the first things. It's like those, that's why those principles are, right in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think really the second,
Biohuel investigaciones.
the second primary piece would be.
¿O dónde? Es que, ¿dónde viene lo que me mandaste?
Sorry, I got you there. Someone needed to be muted. Oh, but you got muted somehow. Hold on. Pause there for a second. There we go. Gotcha. Come on back.
All right. The second piece I would say is really about embodiment. So the primary ways we become present is through the breath and through movement, right? And that allows our mind to become still. So the lower Dantian breathing, right? The slowing and calming of the nervous system is paramount in our day and age, right? So many people just have no clue of their breath. So we become mindful of the breath, we're immediately able to calm our nervous systems and, not react. And then we learn the warrior's breath, which is more stimulating. Sometimes it's like, I notice for myself, and maybe you experience this, I sit down and meditate, and maybe it's a minute or two, and I'm kind of like wiggly, and I'm like, I don't really want to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, let me light a candle or do some sage and kind of clear it out. And I'm like, oh, I know what I need to do. I need to do some warrior's breath. I need to clear my mind and like clear my central channel. So I do 5 to 10 of those warrior's breaths, and I'm like, all right, here I am. So that's how I use those in my life. And today I think it'd be fun to explore, now that you have gone through the training, kind of a fusion of some of these practices together with the principles. So those pieces, the breath, the principle of alignment, the breath, tuning into the body, and now we're able to access source, access self and access the divine source that wants to flow through us. And that's the heart of it.
Yeah, beautifully said. And, I definitely experience, in the flow of the archetypes in Mastery Ring 1 and the different kinds of fields that people go into in each one of the trainings. The warrior session is like about taking the huge scale of who we are, this big being that we are, and actually bringing that into the body. Because we can manifest with the mind, we can manifest with emotions, we can weave, and we can create, and we can heal others, and we can speak our truth. We can tap into our spiritual purpose. But when it really comes down to it, it always comes back to the body and how well anchored we are in the body and how grounded we are in our bodies. And I feel like a lot of from the breath practices and the alignment work to the kind of cross training work and getting physical and really getting into strengthening the body, we're bringing it in. We're bringing it in all the way so that we can really get in here and get present.
Yeah, totally. So that reminded me, as you're speaking, when I look at, one of my favorite movies, I think a lot of, gosh, I'm having a brain fart. It's not Harry Potter. What's the other one? Wait, Gandalf. What's the one with Gandalf?
Lord of the Rings.
God dang it.
Lord of the Rings, man.
Lord of the Rings. So
yeah.
Lord of the Rings, I think about like Gandalf the Grey,
Yeah.
Like he's magical and he's powerful, but then all of a sudden, like, the next series, he comes like Gandalf the White. And his movements are like so much more refined. Oh, he went through some warrior training. I don't know where, climbing mountains, he was doing some Shaolin something, but he's a new being.
Yeah.
He was powerful before, but now there's this quality of like, oh, his embodiment is even more like, so he's able to, affect reality that to a much higher degree,
Right.
So I think that's a fun analogy, because I think all of us feel that, we have this galactic nature. And it's beautiful and it's magical and it's powerful. And, in these meditations that I'm going to teach you, I'll give you the preview. So today we're going to do some Tumo. And some of you may have already experienced some Tumo practice with me on the 7-day challenge. I know you did, Scott, right? And it's something that I've always wanted to teach inside of the Guardian Alliance and eventually create some content for, because it's so simple, it's so profound, And so we're going to tap into that. And because you have the warrior's breath and the Dantian breathing, now we're just going to take it to that next level together.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So the first kind of thing you should know when we do this breath practice, there's 3 steps. Okay. The first is the warrior's breath. Okay. So y'all are professionals at that now. And the second part, okay, after we do these warrior's breath, is called the breath lock. Okay, the breath lock and the sink down. So what we'll do is we'll review the step together, okay, and then we'll move on to the third.
Great.
So sit up nice and tall, okay, wherever you are on the planet. Your crown extend, your shoulders sink down, and relax into your belly. Take about 3 breaths down into your dantian, letting everything slow down. Breathing in through the nose, naturally filling the belly. And begin to feel your feet on the floor. Begin to connect to the earth. And I like to envision tree roots from my feet dropping down into the earth. Your body relaxing. And now as you inhale, imagine you're drawing in chi from Mother Earth, just allowing that life force energy to flow through us, filling our legs, our bellies, feeling that sun inside. And as you exhale, let go down into the earth. Letting go down. Now as we inhale, feel our spine overflow, our mind clear and connected to the stars, the cosmos. And see us weaving this web of light together on the globe, each one of us a pillar of light. I thank you for your presence. So this first step is the warrior's breath, and the second will be the breath lock, okay? And there's one thing I want to note. I know you guys are really dropping in, so thank you. You want to have your hands, if you open your eyes for a moment, grounding that awareness in. You're going to have your hands like so, okay? So if you put, for men, it's right hand on top. For ladies, it's left hand on top. The fist goes right to the wrist here, and you fold over, and then you close the fingertips. So what that does is now we have both Lao Gong points where we project energy and receive energy now connected. So it's like double the power, and we're going to let that connect to our belly. Okay, so we're like this on the belly, right at the navel. Okay, and this is how we're going to do this practice. All right, so relax your shoulders, and there's a point to be made when we do these warrior's breaths. You may get lightheaded, which is totally normal. Okay, if you get overly lightheaded, breathe it with a little bit less sound through your nose. Okay, if you're not getting lightheaded, go for it maybe a little bit more. Okay, so let's play. Here we go. On 3, we'll do 5 breaths. Okay, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, rock forward gently. Inhale through your nose with sound, rock back and out. In and out. Breathing with sound through the nose. In and out. One more, big as you can with sound through the nose. Then hold it for a moment, lock it in. Now exhale as slow as you can through your lips. Now relax. Take a breath into your belly once you've exhaled all your air. Observe and feel. Feel your body, your alignment. Notice any temperature change or shift in your body. Notice your presence. Good. So step 1 is warrior's breath. Step 2 is breath lock, okay? And then we're gonna sink it down. So we just did that breath lock. Now the where the power comes in, if you can imagine, we are gathering the chi of the universe, right? So this is my favorite thing to do in nature. I love being outside in nature, the tree, the snow, river, ocean. It's all magical. And so we're breathing in these warriors' breaths, and we're taking in the chi of the land, and we hold it in our heart, our chest. We hold that intention, that beauty, and then we drop it down into the belly. So everybody do this, okay? Put one hand on your belly, all right, and one hand on your lips. And what you're gonna do is imagine that you're blowing out a candle and it's way far in front of your face. So you gotta blow real hard, okay? And then as you do it, I want you to feel your belly like tighten and kind of get big, okay? So we're gonna do this a couple times. Ready? Feel your belly contract but pooch out, okay? Can you feel that? That's what we're doing. We're gonna pressurize the chi, okay? So just do your best, all right? It'll work regardless of if you get this piece, because this will take time and practice to really master it, but you guys are all gonna do great. So that's the sink down. And in Qigong or martial arts, they call it packing chi. We pack the organs. So if somebody was going to strike you in the belly, you're on the battlefield, you do that same thing, and the chi protects the organ. It's like, okay? So that's what's happening. But instead of being a protective mechanism, we're taking our intention, whatever our intention was, we're dropping it down into the center of our being, into the root of our being. Okay, so let's try that now. We're gonna breath out to review. We're gonna 5 warriors breath, hold it in the chest, then drop it down into the belly, okay? And after this, I'll take some questions before we move through it. It's important. I want you guys to really grasp the technique, okay? You guys ready? All right, hands on the belly, spine tall, feet on the ground. Let's do it. Do 5 big breaths. On 3, we'll exhale all of our air. And you may have noticed we're rocking gently forward on the exhale, rocking back on the inhale to help facilitate the movement of the lungs and the chi. 1, 2, 3, exhale. Breathing in through the nose and out. In and out. 3 and out. 4 and out. Remember, you may get lightheaded, so be aware. Number 5, breathe it in. Hold it for a moment. Now drop it down into your round belly. Relax your shoulders and exhale now through your mouth. Slow, slow. Keeping the belly out and down. Like a thread of air. And the energy is pouring from the palms into the belly. Excellent. And take those natural breaths, those belly breaths again. And sending that smile down. Thank you for your presence. It's very powerful to be doing this with you all today. And let's take a moment to see if anybody has any questions. I want to gauge, see if anybody's getting very lightheaded, and just tune in with the pulse of the group here.
And for anybody who is only seeing one video on the screen, if you click in the upper right where it says gallery view, you can see everybody together.
Oh, cool.
So I have a question. As we're gathering chi in the belly and expanding the belly, we're holding the breath in, right? And focusing to circulate chi. And then what's the action as we release?
As you begin to exhale, slow and smooth, that's actually moving into the 3rd step, actually. You're doing it 100% correct. Gather the chi, drop it in the belly. Hold the breath for anywhere between 2 to 5 seconds. The longer you hold it, the more likely you are to get lightheaded, okay, and possibly pass out. So I don't want anybody hitting the floor here today, okay? So that's what you do. You hold it in the belly for a couple seconds, and then you begin to exhale, and that's where we set our intention. And that's the 3rd step. So we're right on track.
Yeah, I also noticed that, some people may have just breathed out more quickly. And it's really important to, as David said, like breathe it like a thread. So imagine you have a tiny little thread coming out of your mouth. And so your breath out literally should just be like if I'm full, I'm breathing out like this.
Yeah.
Like really, really slow, as long and as slow as I can, actually, all the way until I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
And so that's something that it helps to refine, and even pursing the lips helps, because you're like, imagine you're focusing the chi as it's coming out, which is important for the next practice.
Yeah, exactly. And to add on that, if you were to actually take a physical straw and then try to blow out of that straw slow and smooth, it's like that's like the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're and we call it pressurizing. So as Adam was kind of, you're breathing out slow, you're pressurizing the chi in the lower dantian. And that's where we begin to build heat and warmth and fire. So we're going to start to amp it up here. 5 is just kind of a preview to get everybody on the same page. Now we're going to start to amp it up, doing anywhere from 8 to 10-ish. We'll keep it in that range. And you'll start to notice the effects, actual physiological effects. So anybody else have any questions before we move on to the third part of this breath practice? Jade.
First of all, I wanted to point out that with us recording this, David, your name right now says Kai Van Bodie, so I think you're under your wife's name. So we're recording it. We'll probably post it, and everybody's gonna be like, "Is it David Beaudry?" Or
thank you.
So, and then it's not. It is direct to the practice, but it also weaves in with Star Walker. I'm curious in taking these practices into the dream space, and you don't have to answer this right now, just keep it up. In the dream space, because our breath is linked to our physical body, would doing the Tumo breaths and things like that within the dream space or the astral realm, how would those connect with grounding our presence as a warrior in those type of things? So again, you don't have to answer it right now, but I just wanted to get that queued up and pull in off of this practice and its applications into some of the other archetypes as well.
Wow, thank you for that question. I just had a powerful vision of doing it in the dream space, and I'll share briefly. So when I connect to my higher self or guides or other, there's time where we share practices, and I remember this time where I was sharing a practice with this enlightened being, and I was like, he was like, what can you, what do you have to share me? I was like, well, I'll share with you the best thing that I know, and this is all in meditation. And I was like, and I did this breath work, this tumo, and I remember feeling that presence of this being myself, and then I felt the presence of like many past lives, and it was like there was this integration of the worlds of like ancient future like presence. It was just profound. It felt like I was in the Grand Canyon. I was like in this massive, just the most beautiful earth, like kind of temple. So that's what came through as you were asking me. It was like, yes, dream state, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for that question. I never even thought about that before. It's been a long time since I had that memory, so thank you. Yeah. And thanks for letting me know about my name. I'm glad I was able to adjust that.
Just want to say welcome, Mateo, and thanks. Glad you made it into the session. And are there any other questions before we go to step 3 of the breath practice? All right. Looks like you're good to go, David.
Okay, beautiful. So step 3 is the actual tumo. Tumo is a Tibetan word. It means inner fire. And for some of you who are interested, Google tumo, and you may find some YouTube videos of Tibetan monks drying out wet towels in the snow, okay, or being hooked up to these things and monitoring their temperature and whatnot. And the person who has made this technique most well known, I'm sure some of you have heard of him, is the Iceman, Wim Hof. And he set a number of, I think about 32 Guinness Book of World Records, doing a similar format of this breathing that I'm teaching you here today. It's a little bit different. There's some different refinements, but overall the technique is very, similar. So with that being said, that tumo, that we're building inner fire. So the intention is to build and really activate that inner fire inside of us, which naturally, as we build heat, and this is one of the principles of healing, right, is when a system is stagnant, is cold, is not moving, what do? We got to bring heat and warmth to it, right? So the body naturally, when it's healing, what does it do? A fever. We got to get the temperature up. We got to get some, things moving and phlegm and everything to move out of the system. So this heat is a natural healing quality, okay? And it's life-giving, right? So could you imagine, just imagine this right now. You are in cold Chicago, right? It's under freezing, maybe it's about 30 degrees. And we're all outside, standing in our swim trunks, bathing suits, standing out with trees and our feet on the bare, snowy ground. And it's freezing balls. It's just it's so cold.
I said cold as undead Yeti balls.
Yeah, we're just out there standing, right? And so this is my experience. I'm with Wim Hof, right? So Wim Hof is this joyful man from the Netherlands, and we're all there. There's about 40 of us, and so we're all here. You're here with us, and we're standing, and we begin to sway side to side, kind of like a deep horse stance, and we're swaying side to side. And Wim says, he's like, hey, what's some chants from this area? He's like, what's the native language here? And somebody says something. And so for about 10 minutes, we're just going, hey, 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 hey. We're just like doing this wonderful thing, totally spontaneous, right? So here we are, we're standing in the cold and the freezing. And all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, like I can handle this cold. I'm just kind of singing and it's cool. And, and then we sit down. Now we sit down on the cold earth. We sit down, I'm like, okay, all right, now it's real. I can feel the icicles beginning to form in my sacrum. This is okay. I hope we're gonna get through this, Wim.
Man.
And so then we go through this breathing practice, and we do it for 1 hour. 1 hour of this warrior's breathing. And at any time we want, we can hold the breath, drop it down. So I'm doing like reps of 50 breaths for an hour. And I begin to sweat. I begin to have profound experiences that I can't even describe in this moment. And I was like, wow, okay, this is real.
Mm.
So it felt important to invite you into the transmission that I received from Wim, and the joyfulness and the strength that he brings. And I remember something that just stuck out so clearly in my heart and my mind as we were training. He said, to tap into your nervous system, tap into God. And I was like, whoa. So tap into the universe, tap into the source, and then we go down to the deepest level of our DNA molecule. We have access to everything. We have access to the quantum reality. And we tap into that source. For some reason, I'm feeling tears, and it's important to honor that and express that. Because I don't know what's happening on the planet right now. All I know is that we're going to be all right. And that every one of you plays an important part.
Yeah, bro.
I've been waiting for this day,
Mm.
Kleenex ready. I didn't know I needed it really, but so thank you, Adam, for just calling me in, and
Yeah,
thank
but
you all for coming up.
this is the big work, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
What we're here for together. That's what we're doing.
Here we go. All right, get it. Wrap it up. Get it together.
Let it flow, man. Let the grief flow. We all got to do it. Thank you so much for modeling that for all of us. It's really important.
It's interesting because with y'all, I can feel y'all power. Like, damn, we got at least 20 Jedis all over the planet doing this thing. So I feel that strength, the joyfulness, and I feel the deep purpose that we're here to do. So, these are tears of joy as well. So let's do it. Step number 3. Step number 3.
All right. Let's go.
All right. Thanks, y'all, for being with me. So the third step, we're going to take all that chi, right? Number 1, boom. Warrior's breath. Number 2, breath lock, sink it down. And now as we exhale, as slow as we can, like a thread of air, we're envisioning our intention and the belly is staying out and down, okay? And it's just gently contracting. Okay, so really the most important thing is you just allow your belly to be big and just let it gently kind of, as you exhale, it's just contracting. Okay, just a little bit. It's like 10 to 20% muscle. Okay, the rest of it is your mind intention, and you're filling your belly. There's the sun inside of you with light, and it'll overflow everything. Okay, so let's try it. We're going to double it. We're going to do 10 breaths this time. Remember,
what do you recommend for people in setting their intentions? Do you have any suggestions and guidelines to help people vocalize that?
Yeah, I do. So for the first intention, have that intention to align to your soul. That's always my first is alignment. Is feeling my heart, feeling the earth, and really allowing my central channel to overflow with source energy. And so I'll guide you through it. Thank you, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna do 10 breaths. Warrior's breath, followed by breath lock, sink down, and 2 more. 1, 2, exhale all our air. 1, 2, 3, exhale. Breathing in and out. 2 bigger. And out. 3 deeper. And out. 4. And 5 with grace and power. Number 6 for the earth. Number 7 for the waters. Number 8 for the fire. Number 9, the air. And with all our heart, breathing in, hold, swallow it down into your belly. With all your heart and love, feel your soul alignment. Feel that sun inside of you filling your belly, getting brighter and brighter, overflowing your central channel, your heart, your brain, and your crown connected to the heavens and your feet planted in the earth. Once you've exhaled all your air, return to that natural belly breath. Feeling the collective column of light that we are here together at this magical time of transformation on Mother Earth. So, I wanted to check in before we go to the next one. Adam, how much time do you want to spend doing this practice so I can be really on point here?
Well, this is the purpose of our coming together, is to do this work together, to do some of these practices. We've set an hour for the session, but we started a little bit late because we didn't get into the right room together. So you can go a little bit past the hour, and if people need to leave, they can totally drop out at any time. And I'd love to have a little space after the practice to discuss, any other questions anybody might have, any other aspects of application that we may want to bring in terms of applying the breath to physical practices, especially like those in the warrior course.
Definitely. Beautiful. So we'll go for another, 5 to 8 minutes, 5 to 10-ish. That way we have time, look over for questions and everything and integration. So here we go. Let's dive in. We're going to go deep. And so the next intention really is for gratitude, because when we can tune into gratitude, it immediately allows access to our higher self. So let's tune in to something, simple in your life. What are you grateful for right now that just lights you up? The air we breathe, whatever it is, your family, your friends, the challenges that you're overcoming, whatever it is, really tune into gratitude right now. And let's fill every cell, every pore with that gratitude for life. We are alive, thus we can be grateful. So on 3, we'll do 10 breaths for gratitude. On 3. 1, 2, 3, exhale. Breathe it in big. And 2, and 3, full and deep. 4, and 5, and 6. Filling with gratitude. And 7, for our family, for our friends. Number 8, for all the teachers supporting us, guiding us. Number 9, let's slow it down. 1 more. Number 10, with all your heart and soul, breathe it in. Tune in to the gratitude of your soul. Drop it down into your belly. Crystallize. And as you exhale, see that intention of gratitude overflowing your physical body, your energetic body, your spiritual body. Like waves and ripples of light throughout your room, throughout your community, throughout the planet. Seeing this grid of light that we are, interconnected. Honor to be here with each of you. Thank you for showing up. So much more fun together. So now this next intention, let's tune into 2018. What is your dream? What is your vision? Gosh, we're here to do such big things together. I know it. I feel it in my bones. Can you feel it?
And before you start this one, I just want to let everyone know, like, if there's places in your body that you're feeling the energy get stuck, you're feeling the buildup or a burning in your shoulder or your back or whatever, it's because there's chi that's trying to move through that zone. And as we're pumping the chi like this up and down through the body, that area is getting massively stimulated. So in between the practices, and right now it's a good idea, just try, roll your shoulders, open your spine up. David, you and I, we do a lot of physical training and a lot of physical work. So for us, we don't have that issue as much. But when I first started doing these breaths, I would notice, my kidney or my shoulder or my neck, just burning so intensely.
Yeah, bro. Thank you.
Build up. So flushing.
Yeah, flushing, right? We clear it and then we got to flush it out. So wiggle, shake, rolls, a little tapping the kidneys, tapping the legs. Yeah, that's a great area, right? Yeah. The belly and the hips, the kidneys. Yeah, that's good because I haven't done my movement practice today, so this is excellent. This is Thanks for the reminder, brother.
Yeah, get those meridians opened up.
Yeah, right. It's like trying to pour in all this clean energy into like a kind of dirty glass. It's like, well, let me just brush off the dirt a little bit, get that. We're gonna get the cobwebs out of there.
That's right. Move the cobweb.
Yeah. So thank you for that. And this is something that you can apply to any other meditation or practice. If you notice something beginning to really overrun, okay, that means there's something there that needs to shift and move. Oh, that's a good one. So yeah, let's drop back in together. Now we're feeling lighter and fresher. And let's tune into this year, 2018, the year of the Earth Dog in Chinese medicine. So it's a very grounding year, perfect to continue to build our light tribe and see transformation. So as we do this practice, I want you to envision and feel it happening. You know, you sharing your greatest gifts. And the technology, the transformations, the healings, everything that you need is here right now. All the resources you need are here right now. All the support is right here. And we're going to call in more support. It's just natural. It's what happens when we're aligned with our soul. And so, you know, with gratitude and love, let's see our 2018 just filled with magic and love. And let's do it. So let's do 10 breaths. 1, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Exhale. Breathe it in through the nose. And 2. Feeling our heart. Number 3, clarifying our vision. 4, bigger. And 5 is deeper. 6, tuning into our soul frequency. 7, amplifying that frequency. Number 8. And the mind, begin to slow it down. Number 10, with all you've got, breathe it in. Crystallize our tension at the top. When you're ready, drop it down into your belly. As you exhale, see and feel the inner fire of your light, your heart, your visions, your dreams, the miracles all happening here and now. Calling in the support, the guidance, and the resources we need. They're all here. And from a humble heart, we know we're here to be of service. Opening our eyes and our ears to receive the guidance even more clearly in 2018 than we've ever experienced before. And then returning to that belly breath. You're making that commitment to yourself, you know, when we receive the guidance, taking the action, you know, guidance, journal it, make it happen, you know, because then it creates that relationship with the universe. And when the universe gives us signs and we listen and we follow through, it's like, all right, great, let's keep rocking. You know, if we stop listening, if we don't pick up the phone, they're gonna stop calling, you know. It's like, God. So that's my last piece is just keep, when you feel that guided, boom. And so thank you all. It's 11:59. You know, as we close out, I want you to rub your belly. Okay, a great way to close out any practice is to see all the chi nourishing your organs. It's good to do it in a circular motion, you know, grounding it in and feeling all that warmth and heat and vibration and love. And,
clockwise is good.
Yeah, clockwise is great to help your digestion and your bowel movements. That's the number one way to do it. All right.
Do you want to define how that clockwise works?
Oh yeah.
I always get
inside or the outside. Yes.
In a chakra, I'm like, what perspective are we using?
So if you take your right hand and you put it at the top of your belly, your right hand will move towards your left side and down.
Yes.
So it's clockwise from if you were looking at yourself, counterclockwise from the inside of your body. So it's clockwise going into your body.
You're the clock.
You're the clock.
Yeah, you're the clock. Great. So how was everybody's experience? We'd love to get some feedback and questions and see where everyone's at. Anne-Marie, it looks like.
Yeah, on one of them, I had a weird thing of the breath just disappeared. I don't even know where it went. Where I didn't realize that I had exhaled, but I had.
That's the magic spot. What you're talking about is the magic spot. When you just completely forget the breath even exists, you're doing it right. Yeah. So that's the feedback I have for you.
Hello, David.
Hello.
That was amazing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I've been doing this icing overtones.
Wow.
I was feeling like, I was even feeling the sound on the breath. And I didn't realize that the last overtone singings that I've been doing, it's kind of like a breath technique.
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes, it is. Breath technique.
I don't even know what is the last thing that I'm doing. I was trying to be like creative, but it's something like I'm trying to breathe here and then move the air here. So it would be something like this.
Wow.
Wow, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, get it, girl.
Can I buy your album? Where's your toning?
Well, that was my question. I was going to ask you what I'm doing.
Well, that's it. You're here to share the magic of sound and do it in large groups and cathedrals and, power spots. Let's do it. I'll come visit you. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, let's do a pulse session with sound training from.
Yeah,
Emily.
I mean it's a very important part of training, cultivation, and it's just in my So thank you. Wow. So I'm curious, did you have a question of what you were doing with the breath in that moment?
Because I think that I'm doing the breath here, but at the same time I feel the breath here. Is it possible to do two breaths at the same time, like singing?
I mean, yes. I mean, if you're doing it, you have a skill set as a person that overtones. Your mastery of your vehicle as an instrument, like that's something I've never even heard of. Nobody's ever told me that. I don't have a frame of reference for what you're going through. All I know is that you're magic, and that I'll tell you this. What I think may help when I do toning work, which is a huge part of my spiritual practice. The toning work has helped me understand my dantian and how to resonate the chamber of my body. And so when I do the tumo practice, it taught me how to drop the sound vibration into my belly and resonate from my whole being, into my rib cage and my so in that way, by doing this practice for you, your overtoning will become even better, even more refined, because you're even more control of the breath and the packing and where you can kind of manipulate the energy, for lack of better words. Manipulate has a certain connotation, but you get what I'm saying.
That's great. Sometimes I try to move the breath when there's a technique that you don't even have to open your mouth. So it's kind of like you're moving your air inside of your body and you make it resonate in the cranium.
Yes, I do know. I have a question. I want to make sure we get to other people. Can you, if you haven't already, can you create a little, like maybe it's a video or YouTube of you overtoning for us and post it in the group? I mean, if you're shy, that's cool. I'll help you work through that, because I had to work through that too. I'm terrified of getting myself out there, but here I am.
I I would then for like my purpose for 2018. I'm right now living in Oregon, and we are doing some killing work here in Oregon.
Yeah. So you're in Oregon.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I'm coming to Shasta in May. Let's hang out.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm doing a Qigong retreat. We're gonna do sound healing, and it'd be great to have you. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at that. How quick manifests. You know the network. Boom. Here we are.
Boom.
So thank you again. How do you say your name? Tree?
My name is Patricia. I'm Spanish.
Patricia.
Since I'm living here in the United States, no one is able to say my name. So I'm just like, I'm Tree, like the trees in the forest.
Cool. I love it. Well, thank you for your presence.
Tree, yeah.
So I'm curious. I want to make sure I can stay connected with each of you here. I don't know if I'm Facebook friends with you or how. Maybe Adam, you can help us stay aligned so we can keep things rolling here.
Most people here, I believe, are in our Guardian Alliance members Facebook group. If you're not in that group, show me your hand if you're not for some reason. Okay, great. Okay, Nicole, awesome. It'd be lovely to have you there. We have a Facebook group called Guardian Alliance members, and it's used for some discussion, obviously outside the Guardian Alliance site. But then, of course, you can always chat on the site. You can post things in the different arenas and things like that. But we all know that, unfortunately, most of you spend your time on Facebook to connect with people. So we've created an option for that as well until we can replace Facebook, which will work.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Adam.
I think Leandro and Augustina had something to share, and also I see Jade as well.
In my case, I just wanted to share with David, right?
Yes.
No, just saying thank you because you made me like remember, just like Adam said, like go back and remember what you're supposed to be doing. And in my case, at the first very second that we started to align again, I felt again like I haven't felt it in years. The pressure, like not the pressure, like the alignment between the part of your sacrum and my head. So I was like, whoa, all dizzy again, like because there's been a couple years since I did that, and you helped me remember that I have to do it over and over again. Yes. So I don't lose balance. So it was pretty cool that I was like, just the first time you said, okay, sit and put your feet on the on the ground, and I instantly like aligned and felt again. You know, this, I don't know in English the word, but like the pillar inside the body.
Yes. Thank you for that share.
And also I wanted to say to Tree, that I'm not sure if I understood correctly what she said. I think she said about she was like feeling the breathing here and here, right? At the same time. And I used to teach singing, but I still do. And I kind of know the technique for breathing from your belly. So if Tree, if you need some help any day, I don't want to interrupt right now with this, but if you need some help with that, I can totally give you a hint, no problem, because I used to teach that. So,
yeah,
so it was awesome day. Thank you so much. You made me like go back and do it again because I kind of forgot it. Sorry.
Yeah, you're welcome. You want to take one more, Adam?
I think Jade had something to share, and yeah, we can totally take a couple more, maybe 5 more minutes or something before we wrap up today.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to first of all mention that Scotty, myself, and Pam, we're kind of the main ambassadors right now for the Guardian Alliance, in addition to Adam, of course. So David, if you have anybody you want to connect with, or anybody else here is wanting to connect with people, reach out to us and we'll make time to share with you. I think Adam's working on a new piece for the website of Meet the Ambassadors, so you can actually know who to go to when you have questions about this stuff, and we'll help bring in Adam and David and things like that. But as far as my question,
bless you.
So sometimes when I'm doing my energy work, I'll feel almost like a cool breeze come down through my crown, and usually it gets about this far, and it doesn't really go down any further. I know I've had some challenges with my warrior practice, and as a skilled dream walker, a lot of time when I try to do Tai Chi or something, I'll start floating in my dream. And so I lose grounding very easily within my dreams. I'll start floating and things like that. I have a hard time stabilizing the space and dropping in and really, making it my zone. And I think that comes from my lack of presence with my physical body and environment. So I wanted to hear a little bit about your viewpoints on connecting the warrior and the star walker into into that etheric space.
Yeah.
How can we bring that?
My first question would be for you is, what is your current physical practice?
Well, I'm doing the 7-day course with you, and I do have the warriors. 2018, I'm going to be rocking it more, but right now I don't have much. I usually do about a 20-minute workout each day, but
there you go. So that's on a simple level, that's it. On a more refined level, I would say, like, if you were to, I like Tim Ferriss's, MED, minimum effective dosage. So if you're a dream walker and that's your thing, what's the minimum, right? Doing something where you're squatting, lunging, and getting the chi and the blood in there, and it opens up the sacrum, opens up, it fires the low back, the kidney chi, which helps root the energy. And then after you do maybe, 5-10 minutes of some kind of leg movement, then you just do like a standing posture with your eyes open. So especially out in nature is really good because you hear the trees, you hear the birds. That's very grounding. So after you do a physical practice for 5-10 minutes, right, then you do your standing meditation or your qigong, right, where you're very calm and you're observing your reality. You're scanning the environment. That's going to be very powerful in helping ground your more, dream walking energy. It's like, oh, here it is. So then that way the dream walking can now come to the earth. And one of the shamans I work with said, when you are on, like a medicine journey, and a bird comes down to the ground, that's a spirit, like grounding in to communicate with you. So now I'm always aware of that when I see birds. When I'm doing my practice in the woods, oh, this crow came, okay. Well, this blue jay came, all right. Oh, there was a hawk that maybe landed on a branch, So like, that's what's going to help ground this, is you being in nature and making sure you have that dedicated time to your physical body.
And thank you, David. And then that cool breeze, do you have anything about what that might be or how to utilize that better?
The cool breeze is a energetic that's used for also cleansing and calming the nervous system. So in medical qigong training, we use that deep blue color oftentimes to help clear inflammation, to help calm the brain, to help calm the nervous system, and it's the color of the kidneys, which is that cool blue, like ice blue. And think about the chi of the mountains. How healing is the chi of the mountains? That fresh, brisk, like, it's like a new day. So that cool breeze, I'm imagining comes through in your healing session when there's something that's just like, let me clear this, lighten it up, just. Dr. Johnson, he also calls it the immortal wind. One time he mentioned it, out of all the 3 years, and he's like, it's like an immortal wind, this cool. Oh, it's not me doing it. There's a power, there's a energetic that's being asked for. Mm-hmm. I didn't make up the cool breeze. It's just happening.
That's something that I felt when I was doing the breathings, and each time it got more and more intense. At first, I felt the same that she said. This alignment, a pillar, and like a tension between all of the chakras and the spine and everything, like a strengthening of all of that. And when doing the breathings, I felt at first, and I kind of saw it like a nice blue, and then when we finished doing the breathings and swallow them and put them in the stomach, in the belly, and you said the word crystallized it, and I that's what I felt, but it crystallized, and at the same time it burned. That it crystallized in my belly, and at the same time it felt like burning and like activating it like a fire. Yes, that flew upwards as well. That wanted to come up, but I was managing to hold it down.
Great work, bro. Just beautiful. You know, in the study of energetics, you know, Taoism, you know, we call it the Tao, the yin and the yang. So there's a point during our practice or meditation, whether you're doing breath work, you know, with this tumor, or whether you're doing sound, whatever. And there is this point where the yin and the yang all of a sudden become one, you know, and that heat and that cold become one. And that's where the magic is. That's what we're able to tap into that I can't explain.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to explain because it's contradictory. It's a contradictory feeling. It's cold. It's and it at the same time it burns. You can feel the firepower from it, but it also.
Yes, I love the way you're speaking about it. It's like you're transmitting the chi of it. Thank you.
Alchemy. It's definitely the deep alchemy.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I know that Tal had a question about, you know, the practice in relationship to having any congestion and things like that. Tal, do you want to come in and just say your question and say hi?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much, David. I had one thing I want to share too, is that I had this really profound moment of like stillness and emptiness at the end of that last practice, which was such a good reminder of what's possible, you know, with these like simple practices, that you can just have this really profound state shift and experience of consciousness in a new way. And I'm really grateful for that experience that I had. And I wasn't like grasping at keeping it, but I was like, oh, this feels really nice to like slow everything down and just be in the presence of what is for that moment, you know, and the mind was quiet, and it was really great. So yeah, so my question was, I got that flu that a lot of people got like right after New Year's, and I've been slowly recovering, but like I think one of my weak spots in my physiology is my lungs. Like I've always known that. It tends to be the first organ that tends to get tired, like if I'm exercising or something, like before my muscles. And so now I'm recovering, but like my lungs are still like I'm coughing a little bit, sneezing, congested. I'm just wondering about doing this practice. Like it kind of like was a little challenging to do it, and it also felt good. But I'm just wondering like how much to push it, or how good is it to clear it with the practice, or if you have any sense.
This is a great question. A couple of things come to my mind. The first is, you know, when you're doing this breath work, it is helping to cleanse those channels. So being really mindful about how deep, you know, and if you're super congested, it may be challenging. You can't quite breathe through the nose. So you would do the practice through the mouth. And with WIM, we would do the practice simply through the mouth. So that's, you know, if somebody's too congested and they're like, man, I can't do it, you can do it. The second piece that I would say is there's a balance between, because this practice is somewhat forceful, you know, I mean, we're really intending, and like it's powerful, it's swift. So if somebody does this practice and they're brand new, regardless of whether they have congestion or not, and they do it for 5 days, 7 days straight, they may come up against something that is like, ooh, like there's, it may be something emotional, it may be something physical. I've experienced it, maybe Adam, you have, and you're like, wow, like this is really bringing up some stuff. This is really clearing the pipes. So on day 5, if I'm feeling that, like, oh, I need to slow it down. I don't need to be breathing my brains out anymore. You know, I just need to breathe and relax and take care of myself. It's like what we were trying to unearth is now unearthed. You know, it's like, and let's take a bath, journal, take care of yourself. And then your soul will guide you again when to do it. Like, oh, it's been a day, it's been a couple of days, maybe it's been a week. Now I'm gonna reinvigorate the practice. So I really enjoy doing like 7-day types of intervals or challenges with myself. And so I would suggest, try it for the next 7 days and really see how it's doing. Listen to your body, don't go too deep if it's feeling like you can't, and then see where you're at. And then maybe you take a break for a little while.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
I just saw that I hope I pronounced her name right. Emma Cat wrote that like the lungs are associated with grief, which I've heard before, but I hadn't thought of that. And just reading that had me feel some grief. So I'm like, oh, there's probably some emotion to move for me that I've been holding on to somewhere.
Yeah. Thank you. How do you? Is it, Tal, you said her name Emma Ket. Is that how you say?
You guys can call me Emma. It's Emma Ket, but you can call me Emma. My friends do.
I remember you very distinctly going through the warrior, and I was like, "Whoa, she's awesome." So thank you, Tal, for your question. And I'll add one thing, Emma Ket. Thank you for sharing. In Chinese medicine, grief, sorrow, loss, sadness, guilt, shame, all those we kind of store in the lungs, in the shoulders. So by doing some tapping before and after can help free up that stagnancy, because we're doing all the breath work and then it's just like, oh, let me clear the debris, and it'll help you move through it a little more efficiently. And then journal, because something may come up from the past, or something may come up. You're like, wow, okay, I need to come to a new place with this thing, forgiveness or whatever the case may be. And so that's what I would say. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, Emaket, there's definitely deep weaves in the transition of mastering the breath inside the body and applying that to a lot of the Weaver practices. Because when it comes to being socially confident, to be willing to put yourself out there, being willing to be authentic and vulnerable in front of people, and of course, all of that in its depth leading to how you show up sexually with people, like how vulnerable and open you can be. How much can you allow yourself and your being to open up and relax? Well, if you've got a lot of grief, you've got a lot of emotion going on, that's going to be where that energy is moving. And until that grief moves all the way through, until that emotional charge is released, you're not going to have the Shakti or the Shiva charge in the sexual practice that you would have otherwise. So it's definitely deeply interwoven. And obviously that also goes for general emotional health. If your body is hurting a lot, if your chi is blocked, if you're not flowing on the inside as much, your emotional body is also not going to be able to release as much. So when I'm having a lot of stress or intense emotional times, I like up my gym regimen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like my movement regimen, because just doing that, I'll feel the emotions get a chance to move and get a chance to release. And then I can also go deeper into them whenever I'm in the space where I'm relaxing and hanging out and chilling. So I'll also address, Marcella asked me if these practices should be done with the art crystal on or off. You guys may know I'm a faculty of the Resonance Academy, and we just had these titanium wrapped art crystals made. Mine's actually rotating inside that device over there.
I'll know more about this at a later time, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. But the art crystal is basically a manufactured quartz with all the molecules aligned in the same direction, just like a magnet. And it enhances the flow of the quantum field. So it moves your chi literally for you, around you. And I would say that, like any tool that magnifies and moves energy, it's something that you have to play with sometimes, and other times put aside. You can't rely on any tool to be the thing that's going to help you do what you do, because it becomes a crutch. But if it is feeling good, if it is helping you move the chi, especially in your lung area, if you're wearing it over your heart or over your lungs, great. I mean, that's excellent. It's wonderful. I don't think there's any risk or caution to working with assisting tools at any time, whether that assisting tool is certain kind of food, or a certain kind of external tool, or a wand, or, some other magical device. Tools are there to augment our abilities. It's just important to not rely on them to access the depth of where you can access in yourself. And that's true of medicines as well.
100%. Beautiful. I was just thinking, Adam, looking at your awesome setup there, and it looks like kind of like an altar almost. So for those of you who have an altar and you have various crystals, or your healing, your intuition will guide you. Oh, I need to work with rose quartz today. Or I need to work with citrine, or I don't need to work with anything, or so allow that. And just reiterating what you said, but knowing that you begin to master the tools, not the tools, giving you the mastery.
Mm-hmm. 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 So I have one more question for you, David, to wrap up this awesome session. This has been super fun. So in terms of your physical practice and your strengthening practice of muscles, martial arts practice, obviously I know the application in Qigong and Tai Chi, but in your other kinds of workouts and practices, do you do these kinds of breaths? And also, if you were to apply it, how would you apply this kind of breath work in the space of physical training and strengthening your body?
That's a great question. I typically will use it at the beginning of a session or the end. I'll set an intention for the day, and then when I'm doing my deadlifts or my, the warrior practice, where I'm on the ground and I'm doing my push-ups or whatever the case is, that intention I've already set. So every single movement I do is dedicated to that, love. Another way that I use it is more kind of practically. So like if you are, doing a physical exercise that is going to be quite challenging. I remember when I went to some of you may have heard of CrossFit. It's pretty popular. And I went to my first CrossFit thing and I was like, man, this is going to be freaking hard. What did I get myself into? So as the guy was talking and prepping, I was like warrior breathing. I was just like, my oxygen, my lungs, and I'm going to get ready for this, and I did that type of practice to really set the grid and know that I can get through this. I can handle it, and I use that if you ever do deadlifts, okay, which I recommend. If you've never done a deadlift, learn how to do it because it is powerful and it's simple and it's practical, So once a week deadlift, it's super dope. Anyway, with the breath, when you're lifting heavy objects, you have to do that breath lock sink down into the belly. You have to do that tumo, because if it's too heavy, you'll break your back, or you just won't have, you just can't do it. But you can charge the chi, pressurize the chi. They call it, I think it's the Valsalva maneuver in like exercise, and it's a very similar thing to this packing in the chi, so that you're protecting your spine, your abs are strong, your chi is strong, you're lifting through your sphincter, and so all of those muscles are just driving your feet to the ground, all lifting up the chi. So I would say just taking one breath where you're, and then just lift it, and you'll notice your power increases tremendously.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said. And yeah, I use elements of the breath in smaller form too with other kinds of workouts. Often in just like doing martial arts, it's like breathing like and like pulling in and compacting, and then blasting out and releasing, like allowing each movement to ride with the breath. And then I actually don't get tired, and I also can sustain my practice and my breath for a lot longer doing that. And then also in the space of doing weightlifting, actually just synchronizing the breath and the compaction with the workout. So, like if you're pulling a rowing, it's like breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, or like you're doing butterfly kind of stuff, you're like breathing in and then breathing out to that spot, like link it in, solidify it, you know, bring it in, bring it out, you know, and just even at the end, like compactifying it with little breath and like centering it, dropping it down. So
that's the Jedi shit right there. That's you know,
Jedi shit.
Yeah, because I do that, and I do it so much I forget that I do that. You know, I'm just like it's just part of my practice.
Exactly.
That's where so thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've come up on 90 minutes. This has been an epic, amazing session. So glad to have all of you guys here. In case you missed some of the session, I did record it, and I will be posting it on the Guardian Alliance and also on the Guardian Alliance Facebook page, and probably the members page too. So you guys can tune back in and watch it. Remember that every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, we have Guardian roundtables that happen, and they're in the same kind of environment, but it's an open discussion. So anything you want to bring to the table, any insights, any spiritual practices, any deep personal work that you're doing or going through, that's a place where we all share openly, and it's truly a roundtable. So it's not as led and facilitated. It's much more open, and we make sure that everybody has a chance to really share and show up inside of that space. And I'm on many of those. Jade often is facilitating those sessions as well. And as Scotty mentioned earlier, himself and Jade and Pam are ambassadors of the Guardian Alliance. And so they are definitely available if you guys have questions or you're having any challenges with the site or trying to get through and figure stuff out. And if they need to send it to me or let me know to get involved, I'm happy to jump in to support you guys. But yeah, I'm looking forward to an awesome year as we go in here. And if any of you are not currently taking Mastery Ring 1 or have not taken those courses, I highly, highly recommend it. It's a powerful, life-changing journey, and you know, every one of the courses is deep and powerful and can, you know, give you practices that will continue to work for you for years and years to come. So, you know, join in. We have seasonal memberships nowadays, as well as monthly memberships, and you can just come in and work as long as you want to work on it, and come in and out, and always join our roundtables and come check us out for these pulse sessions. David, I saw you.
Yeah. I wanted to just mention to you guys, you know, the inner circle, and that this in 2018, I'm leading a 200-hour medical qigong training, and so I wanted to just let you guys know that I'm doing it, and I feel so called to help, you know, train this next generation of warriors and healers and light workers. So it's going to start in March, and we're going to have 2 retreats, one in Mount Shasta as a part of it, and it's just going to be epic. So I wanted to make sure that I let you guys know. And if you feel the call of your soul to really dive deeper into these practices, we're going to go deep. And so I wanted to make sure you guys know that. And, you know, we'll be able to connect through, you know, Guardian Alliance or Facebook, and, you know, reach out to me.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I would just love, David, as always, send me those materials, and I'd be happy to post those in the Guardian Alliance for students of your classes in the Warrior and Healer, and also you know, just generally on the Facebook page and stuff, to let people know about that, as well as on Unify if you like, because I post on Unify as well.
Yeah, I would love that. And you know, I feel really called in the next you know, few months, would love to share and create. If you guys love this practice, you know, like I know that this practice isn't within the academy right now, so you know, let me know how I can keep supporting you guys, supporting this community, with more material, you know, and keep riding this wave together.
Yeah, well, let's talk about doing a mini course or something, David. And if you want to put together just a couple videos doing the practice, we can release it as like a little mini course, paid or free or whatever, however you want to do it, and we'll share it with the community and make sure that we get more of this work out there, and more of your current practices and mastery out there to the world.
Awesome. So good to reconnect with you, Adam, and all of you all. It's like I look forward to, you know, diving in deeper this year.
Us too, buddy. And if we don't see you on another pulse session in 13 days, we have our next one with Alex Fairman covering the Weaver course. So love to have you come and join in for that one. And that's on Friday. So I know Friday's a little more challenging for you. But they're going to rotate backward throughout the week. So every 13
Send me an invite to it.
2 weeks.
Please send me an invite to it. I would love to make it if I can.
Awesome. Absolutely. And I'd love to have you back when it comes time to do the healer one as well. So
yeah, I'm there, bro. Count me in. I'm on board.
Awesome. Thank you everybody for being
Hey,
present.
Adam.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
Adam, do you mind if I ambassador a little after party here for anybody who would like to stay and continue to connect within this space?
Sure. Absolutely. That's fine.
I'd like to make my time available and hear anybody who wanted to share who didn't get an opportunity, just make sure that we all can stay connected. So I wanted to offer that out of my space. Adam, David, I'm sure you guys need to go, but will you throw me over co-host and I'll just continue on.
It is done, sir. It is done.
Thank you guys. Love you all.
Thank you guys so much. Great to see you and see you tomorrow, possibly in the roundtable.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right.
All right.
Aloha.
Great station.